Alright, this is my third video on writing a polynomial from zeros. So the directions on this problem say, write a polynomial equation for the function below. Leave your equation in factored form. So that's going to be important here in a little bit. So looking at the problem, they give us a whole bunch of information. We have this polynomial, which is that curve right there. We have x-intercepts, 3 of them, and they give us the coordinates for those. And we have a y-intercept. So the important thing to note here is whenever you have x-intercepts and zeros are the exact same thing. So when you have an x-intercept, you have a 0. So looking at my 3 x-intercepts, I have an x-intercept at -1, so I have a 0 at -1. I have an x-intercept at 2, 0, so I have a 0 at 2. And I have an x-intercept at 5, 0, which is another 0 but at 5. So I have 1, 2, 3 zeros here. So if I want to change these back to factors, if I have x minus 1, that's going to be x plus 1. And then if you have 2 as a 0, that's going to give you a factor of x minus 2. If you have a 0 of 5, you're going to have a factor of x minus 5. Now, what's going on with these problems when they want it in factored form? So in my previous 2 videos on writing polynomials from zeros, so 1 and 2, our a value was 1. In this one, we're going to have an a value that is not going to be 1. So remember back to all of our transformations on functions and everything, we always had y equals, and you always had the a out front. So we have y, we have x, we have all these zeros. What we need to do is we need to figure out what is a. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use, so we've already used 1, 2, 3 of the x-intercepts. We're going to use that y-intercept. That's going to be crucial in finding a. So with that y-intercept, we know x is 0 and y is 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug in x's, 0 for x, and 5 for y. So that's going to give me 5 equals a, which I still don't know, and then 0 plus 1, 0 minus 2, and 0 minus 5. So I need to simplify all of this down to be able to solve for a. So I still have a 5 equals a. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 minus 2 is -2. And 0 minus 5 is -5. All that's left to do is we need to multiply these 3 together. 1 times -2 is -2. -2 times -5 is 10. 10 times a is just 10a. So if I want to solve that for a, I'm going to divide by 10, divide by 10. So I'm going to get a equals 5 over 10, or 1/2. So I had my original factored form polynomial up here. I had everything figured out. I just didn't know a yet. Now that I know a, I'm going to take this and I'm going to rewrite my top function but plug in for a. So my answer here is going to be y equals 1/2 times x plus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 5. Now this is factored form. Remember, the directions told us to leave our equation in factored form. So we do not need to multiply all this out. Since it asks for factored form, we are done. That is our answer. Y equals 1/2 times x plus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 5. And that was writing a polynomial from zeros, the third video, with a not being 1.